My dog is like a dog on cocaine.
You're not wrong.
Who never knows, but who listens.
Hey, I'm Nick,
I'm Ashton,
and this is the Freedom Fuel Outdoors podcast.
where we take you along and show you how we enjoy our freedom and feed our fuel.
All right, well, we have Harrison here with us, a guy that we ran into at Cabela's, like a month and a half ago? Maybe, something like that.
Late October.
Oh, was it that long ago? Holy cow, I didn't think it was that long ago.
Yeah, it was late October.
And he has a duck dog, and so we're going to talk a little bit about training today. And I have coon hounds, and then Ashton has that dog right over here.
I can see it.
I don't think they can.
It's just a little shed dog, golden retriever.
This one right here.
Trying to train him to shed hunt. So we're gonna talk a little bit about training and how we kind of got into it, and what all we do to train.
Yeah.
I would say I'm the newest to the group of dog training. I've only been in it for probably 4 weeks, and that's been very, very light. I was coming up with the idea and just trying it out in the house and just getting them to know what the antler looks like and know what the smell. I bought this scent stuff from Cabela's that I don't even know if that's the right way to do it, because it just smells like deer urine, which is a major downfall when he goes upstairs, because my hunting room is upstairs. So when I'm not paying attention, he sneaks into the bedroom and digs in my hunting bag and grabs out my scent bombs. And I'm like, what do you have? And he's got a freaking little scent bomb that you hang in the tree. And I'm like, well, I mean, I guess that's a good thing that you're sniffing it out.
You're gonna have to be careful about that. You're gonna come home one day from work and your entire house just gonna have deer urine all over the place.
Yeah. He does pretty. I mean, I was surprised because Harrison, you haven't been in there, but right under my TV in my living room, I have like a little deer antler display, and he doesn't mess with those at all.
I know,
He
really
won't even
surprised.
bat an eye at them. But I get out the training one that I bought from Cabela's, which is pretty large.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a 9-pointer. Like it's kind of cheating. And then my dad killed a 1 antler deer 2 years ago that I took the antler off of it, and it's just a little fork. And I've been training him with that just so he can he's kind of got the visual down. Once he sees it, he goes for it, but I want him to get the nose on the ground. I want him to find it, smell it out, really track down where it's going.
Yeah. I don't know much about shed dog training, but I do know some people will take like an antler or whatever they've got and grind it down into dust shavings.
Really?
And they'll use that as the scent. Use that as some scent.
Get that bone marrow out and everything's kind of been.
Mm-hmm. And I know some people do. I've just read some stuff or watched some videos, and people have done that. That's all I can tell you about shed dog.
Well, hell, you know more than I do, and I've been doing research. I didn't even come across that.
I don't know if that's anything right.
Yeah.
Probably isn't.
Yeah. So how'd you get into duck dogs? What made you want to do that? I guess really more retrieving and doing field trial stuff, but.
What kind of dog do you have?
I've got a 2-year-old black lab.
Okay.
I guess the real reason I got into it, we bought my dog that I have currently for my dad for Christmas one year. And,
so it's your dad's dog, you just have it.
It was my dad's dog. And the deal was he had to take time to train it because we've got 2 other unruly dogs at the house. And
are they about this big?
No.
It's usually 2 Shih Tzus and Dad's dog.
Yep.
No, they're all Dad's dog, and we've got like a 105-pound, 110-pound golden retriever, and then about a I don't know, a 35-pound Cocker Spaniel. I mean,
Big golden.
That is.
we've just got some big old dogs. And we got this lab for my dad because he wanted it. Because we had labs before and he wanted them. And the deal was you had to train it and didn't train it. Long story short, a few months went by. He had 4 months to see if he would train it, and he never did. So we got this 4-month-old black lab, not really well trained. And my mom called me and said, either you're taking this dog or you're sending this dog off to train him. Which one's it gonna be? And because me and my brothers got the dog for my dad, and I said, I'll take it. And so I took him and just started training with him every day. And I got a book. I meant to bring it today and I didn't. It's called Finished Dog by Charles Journey. Teaches you how to take a puppy all the way to be a finished hunting dog. And I just started following that book and started with sit. All right, you know how to sit? Good. Let's get you on the leash and let's teach you how to heel. And then you start incorporating sit, here, heel, and just started working on him like that. And all along was playing fetch with him.
Yeah.
And just started to realize, like, all right, this dog's kind of got something. And it just started to pique my interest. I was towards the end of school at Auburn and needed a new hobby to do. And I was like, well, maybe this dog training thing will be a fun hobby. It's probably one of the most expensive hobbies I've picked up.
Dogs are a period.
But that's kind of how I got started. Just started training with him every day and starting to see his natural talent come out. And then it got me more into hunting. And I didn't really I waterfowl hunted a little bit before that, but not much. And so I've been more duck hunting since then, and so it really got me into it.
Yeah. That's actually that's really how we met you. Was Ashton was looking at stuff at Cabela's that was all dog stuff, and he had Deacon with him, his dog, and he's like, "Oh, you got a dog? What do you got?" To Ashton, and well, heck, me and Harrison hang out more than this. Like first time he's hung out with Ashton.
Yeah,
This is the first time.
Me and Harrison go duck hunting and do all that stuff. So that's kind of what we do together. And we went up and trained today a little bit with his dog. That was pretty neat to see. I've never been around field trial stuff before, so it was kind of neat to see some of that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing how wild and kind of hairy he is sometimes when he just kind of, you're just there and he's just playing around and he's not, in that mode of, hey, this is what I need to be doing to into that, and it's just like, is that the same dog? Is that, like, there's no way it's the same dog.
Yeah,
he just like chills out and he's like he's just super focused on everything.
He knows his job.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And I think that's a big thing with just dogs. And I think I probably could do I should have probably done a better job of training him at the house so that he knows his job at the house.
Yeah.
But when it comes time to go out to that field, there's no doubt that, all right, I'm supposed to retrieve it, bring it back to him, and then look to see if there's something else we're going to go get.
Right. It was pretty neat. We were out there and there was somebody shooting a little ways away from us, and he was doing a little drill, and it's like a big thing for field trials is you blow the duck call.
So hunt test.
You know, here. What are you doing? Nut.
Oh.
And so you blow a duck call, you shoot the gun, right?
Yeah. So the way a hunt test works is I'll bring the dog with me to the line, and we'll sit down, and you'll have your spread or whatever it is in front of you, where you're going to be running the dog, and you blow your duck call, and then they'll blow a duck call back.
Oh, okay.
And then they'll launch the bird, and then when the bird's in the air, you'll shoot, and then you can send your dog after it's on the ground, or maybe it's a double. You'll do it once and then do it again.
You better just close that. Dogs stomping all over.
It just depends on how it.
Yeah.
What's going on?
It was just really neat seeing him. He heard that gunshot, and with you training with him with that gunshot, he was like, "Whoa!" And you could really see it. He was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" I didn't know we were doing that right now. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, gunshots definitely add a whole new layer to it. And
Oh, yeah.
excitement.
Oh yeah.
Gets them.
See, when I first got Dexter, I think like the third day I had him, it was when I got that 22. I bought a little Henry lever action 22, and I was like, you know what? I've had the dog before that was like totally gunshot.
Yeah.
Like you heard a gunshot, and it was
So you
duck and cover, like hide under the couch if you could fit. And so first thing I did is I brought him out here, and I just let him kind of be chained up next to me, and I was just shooting targets, and I really haven't done it since. I kind of lacked on that.
Well,
The worst part about when I got Dexter was he was actually my girlfriend's Christmas present, and didn't really think about training a puppy in the wintertime. I wouldn't suggest it because one, potty training is
awful.
horrible just alone, let alone when it's freezing outside. So that was a struggle.
Oh yeah,
And
guaranteed.
we were already going to put new floors down, so it kind of worked out with getting him. But if I ever got another puppy again, it's going to be a spring puppy, and we're hitting it hard right off the bat.
well, I mean, I don't know. It just depends on. I can go into a whole lot of different questions like, did you crate training?
Yeah, we crate training.
Crate training should have led straight into potty training easy.
Yeah, I mean, he did pretty well. I mean, really not terrible. It was just like, it was the first puppy I've ever gotten. So
yeah.
I always
You were learning, and so was he.
Yeah.
And that's something I run into a lot.
Yeah.
Especially now with where I'm at with Deacon and training him for hunt tests and trying to get his finish title on him and running in some field trials as well this year. To where I'm like, okay, I know, like I've learned over the last 2 years, I've learned what I'm supposed to do up to this point, but what the heck am I supposed to do now? And I mean, a lot of good friends that have helped me out, a lot of really good resources out there. Sometimes you just gotta take some stuff you read with a grain of salt. And
Oh, for sure.
realize that a lot of these dog training programs that you'll see out there, they just kind of blanket it. They tell you what the finished product should look like, but they don't tell you how to get through the
hiccups.
that you run into.
Yeah, I got those.
And it happens with every type of dog, right? Like,
Oh yeah. That's my biggest thing right now with my coonhounds. It's just, and every dog is so different. It's not funny, and you're gonna have different hiccups, and they handle it different ways when you're trying to work with them on that hiccup. And
We're
it could be,
dealing with one dog. You got 4.
yeah, bro. I got one dog that's a good dog, and all of a sudden now he doesn't want to hunt. I don't know what his deal is.
He's old.
No, he's not even a year old. He might be just now a year old, and then I got I got dogs, and
they're all different.
they're all different, and they're all a pain because they're different.
How did you get into your dog?
How did I get into it?
Acquired it.
I acquired dogs is what's happened.
You acquired a very good pound dog for some reason.
I did. I acquired a good dog from the pound. It was free. That was the $200 later.
Okay.
After shots and everything, yeah, shots and food and this and that, and so that was $200. And then a guy my dad knows ended up actually getting me into coon hunting, and that's who I started going coon hunting with. I was like, I got this dog. He's like, well, bring her. I'll see if she coon hunts. She took off and went hunting. I was like, oh, I'm coon hunt now, I guess. So then he's like, well, hey, I got a dog you can have. I know a guy that's getting rid of a dog. You want him? I'm like, sure. With papers and all. gave me this dog. And I was hunting those two. And then, like, a month later, I find a dog in the woods.
I forgot you found
Yeah.
her.
Him.
That was.
I found him. Found him in the woods. Got him. He's out of Bushwhacker, a dog here in northern Indiana.
You
It's
think? You think?
I know he is.
Okay.
And then I got another dog, and she's out of Hoss's Cash Money in Coldwater Creek, and just I've acquired dogs. I've just acquired dogs, and it's expensive.
No more.
No more.
Well, I mean, 4's a little expensive.
But I acquired all of these
I
dogs.
understand, but
And it's been a year. It's been a year, and I've acquired all these dogs in a year. In a year's time. So then I had to get stuff to go hunt, and then I had to get this, and I had to get that, because I had to have it to go.
yeah, it'd take time to go do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, tell me about it. I mean, really?
Especially coon hunting. That just like,
Dude,
I don't know, going pitch black.
that's
I
the
mean,
best part.
Cool in wintertime because shit, it's dark at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
But summertime it's like, it's 9:30.
Yeah.
Let's
I don't
go.
want to go.
Yeah. It
I
gets
gotta work
rough.
in the morning.
It gets rough in the summer. But like, and then you're running. You know, I got 4 dogs. I gotta run. I'm running like I try to run a bunch. I do not run a bunch. I try to run like 3 to 4 nights a week, and that doesn't happen sometimes. Sometimes I don't run at all. Sometimes I run like 5 days in a row, and then sometimes I don't run. It's just how it works out sometimes. And then I don't have anywhere close. Everything I go hunt's an hour away, one way, so it's
2 hour trip.
yeah. I mean, you got 2 hours in driving, and if you go and you're out until 1 o'clock in the morning, no matter what, you're home at 2. It doesn't matter what you do. So
So you gotta put the dogs up, then you gotta.
they just stay in the dog box, and I put them up in the morning.
Well,
They're asleep anyway.
at that point,
Yeah. So it's tough, man. It's tough finding places to do it, to train. That is, for me, that is so hard because of what I have and what I have to do in training and stuff.
Heck yeah.
Look at that.
I'll take
Oh
them.
man,
They're good.
them did
They're
break.
good.
Sweet, some cake pops.
Did she make these for us?
Yeah.
Did she make them for us?
No,
I didn't
she
think
made
so.
them.
I didn't think so.
No, I just acquired the last one.
What did you make them for?
Last time?
Well, what for?
Well, she wanted to. She said, I want to make cake pops or something. That's not
Okay.
fat enough for my liking.
So how'd she make them?
So, it's confetti, cake.
Okay.
Then you have to, basically the icing that is around it is called, it's vanilla white chocolate drops. And then you put them in the microwave and you melt them. So she took those,
Put some confetti in it.
she baked the cake just like you normally would with no icing. Well, you put the icing on after. I never baked a cake. So she baked the cake and then she put it in a bowl and she crumbled it all up.
Okay.
And then she took that stuff, she melted it down, she poured it on it, and then she stirred it all up.
Okay.
And then rolled them in balls, stuck these little sticks in them. Oh, jeez.
I'm okay.
And then she melted more of it after they were in the freezer for about an hour. She melted more of those little vanilla little drops and then put them in a bowl and then rolled the cake in it with the confetti and the sprinkles.
These are gonna have to come to Crosby next year.
Those are killer. I told her, don't even worry about making cake pops. Just make cake chunks.
Make a ball.
Yeah, just put it in a bowl.
Yeah, for sure.
Do I need to move my car?
Do you need to?
Maybe.
Maybe. And she made it.
Oh yeah.
I've never met people that don't use mirrors.
So she has that.
You and her.
camera.
You and her.
Use mirrors?
No, you don't.
No, I turn around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I'm bad at it.
Every
I
time.
turn around.
And you don't turn around this way. You turn around this way, so you can't see nothing.
Well, it helps me because I always just put every time I see the trailer, I know, alright, when I don't see the trailer, like, I just gotta keep it right there. I don't need to turn around and look at it this way because I can't see the back end of the trailer.
Oh.
So if I turn around this way, I can see the back end of the trailer and then I know it's backwards. and I catch myself doing it all the time, but it works for me. I guess I'm used to little trailers that those were reusable, but
They were.
they were.
You were right, they were. I didn't know they were reusable.
I'm used to little trailers. I mean, I
Yeah.
pull little trailers all the time, so you can't see it in your
No.
rear view. You can't see it in your side view unless it's usually too late with a loader trailer. It's like,
Yeah, if you've got a little trailer, it's too late.
Yeah,
You can see it.
you got the.
You're hearing something crunch when you start seeing it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, this driveway is a pain to back up because it just has just enough curve.
Yeah.
That you can't just go straight down.
Yeah.
Now you gotta like. Oh, where did she hit the trash can?
It took her that long to get to the top? I don't know. It sure sounded like it, didn't it? Oh, man.
Oh,
So are we still on this thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I figured.
We're just gonna edit that out.
Yeah.
Cut.
Yeah.
I don't know where we were.
Uh-huh.
We were talking about dogs.
Yeah.
It's too hard to get back into it.
I know.
Yeah.
So what kind of training collar do you use?
I use
Oh, yeah,
a
mine's full.
sport dog 1825 X, I believe.
Holy cow, you knew exactly what it was then. Impressive. I would have never known. I would have told you it was a sport dog shock 'em. That's what I would have told you.
I think it's a sport dog 1825 something.
So how far does that one go out?
A mile and a half maybe.
Really?
I know it's a mile, maybe a mile and a half.
That's nice.
It does not have GPS or anything on it, but I can shock that dog. I can
I'll shock him on you.
So-
That's for sure.
So have you ever gone into does it beep, vibrate, and shock?
Yeah, it can.
So do you
Does
just
it? Yes.
do you strictly just use the shock?
Yeah, I shock piss out of them sometimes.
I mean, but it does it beep before it does do the boop 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 and then shock?
No.
See, that's what I would rather.
If you want it to tone, you hit the tone button. If you want it to shock, you hit the shock. button.
So if I hit the tone first and got the beep 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 and then nailed him, then hopefully it'll get associated with the beep beep beep.
So
yeah,
the thing
And then
is,
I'll be like, oh, all right, I need to just stop.
Yeah.
So no, for me, it's the way I do it is I tell you to do something.
do it. Yeah.
That's just beep beep beep.
Yeah.
I say sit. I'm not gonna beep 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 you and then sit.
Right.
If I say sit, it's all right. You better sit.
Yeah.
And you better sit until I tell you to move.
That's kind of like, my stuff. I have a Garmin Alpha 100, and if you shock them, you can shock them and tone them, and do tone breaking a dog. Best thing that I have ever done, because I can tone one of my dogs, and he could be out of earshot. He could be out of earshot, and I can tone him, and he'll start work. He'll try to start working his way back.
Right.
He'll at least either be listening for me to yell, or he's trying to work his way back his track.
So that's what I want to get in. I just want to. So I feel like you guys are kind of like, you guys got your dogs. I got her dog. I got her dog that I'm trying to get into, and I don't really I don't want just strictly hunting dog.
Yeah.
I want a dog that, all right, hey, let's go in the woods.
Right.
Let's go hang out.
I don't think
I'm
I-
looking for more of a.
Yeah.
By any means, I wouldn't say mine's just a hunting dog.
No, and that's the big thing. Mine are.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of the way I have my dogs. It's not that they are just.
Right, hell, you got 4 of them. I mean,
Yeah, but there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys that make. There's a guy that's down by Brookville Lake. That's, last year he made $50,000-$60,000 with his dog. No, with his dog winning hunts, and it was an inside dog.
Yeah.
It was a pet. It wasn't just a hunting dog. That's the difference. It's all in how you train them,
Yeah,
how you keep them.
if I had a property to leave them outside all the time, I'd I have him in the kennel all the time.
Right.
It's just the state I'm in.
Right.
He's an apartment dog with me, but when we go out to train,
Yeah, he knows. That's
it flips the switch.
that's how my dogs are, man.
Flips the switch and says, "Okay, we're training." And he's my dog's a lot better of a hunting dog than he is a pet.
Yeah, like I dropped the tailgate on my truck, my dogs go nuts. Like they're just ready to go. Like, hey, you're gonna put me in the dog box? All right, let's go. Oh, do I get to go this time? Do I get to go? Yeah.
So
That's kind of the cool part about it.
So I feel like we should kind of try to keep like, I don't know, just kind of keep to the
Script.
not really to the script, but just like give our insight on tips and tricks and
Oh, okay.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Since you're the newest,
I'm
the newest, you ask questions
So
that you might have.
I struggle the biggest with just, and I know this is just lack of training and lack of really working with him, but I really just started working with him, and it's amazing just in the small amount of time that I've actually worked with him instead of him being just a pet.
Yeah.
How much he's like, when I say something,
Yep.
it's that, all right.
Makes a big difference.
Yeah. So I struggle the most with like, and when he gets the shed, he won't bring it to me. And this would be more of your question, because he gets it, and he's so excited that he has it.
Yep.
Did you see me look at him? I knew
He's
you
so
didn't
excited
notice.
that he has it that he just goes nuts, and he just starts running around, and then by the time he won't come and like actually bring it next to me. And that's what I want him to get to is go get it, and come back and set it next to me.
You gotta teach your dog here.
Yeah.
Take him, go get a 25-foot rope, tie an eyelet to it or on it, or
Yeah.
hook that to his leash. Let him run out there, and you hold the end of the rope. Just let him play around. And when you say here, tug him, and here, till he gets there. When he gets there, oh, good boy, pat him up.
Always pet him up, man.
And like that's how I didn't give my dog treats. I didn't when I trained to start when he was a real small puppy. I would give him treats.
Yeah.
Wanted him to be food oriented. I'd train with his meals, things like that. But as he got a little older, once he was 7 months old, I was done with the treats, and it was good boy, pat him on the shoulder. Good boy, pat him up. And that's how I still do that even today. After he would run a few, I don't probably say good boy as much as I think I should. So I try to get him up, come up to me, oh, good boy, pet him all up, get him all happy. But yeah,
I'm the same way. I'm the same way with that.
You got to
I'm
teach
bad
him.
about it.
You got to teach him here.
Right.
And then, I mean, you really want to get down and nitpicky about it. You force fetch them, which is put them up on the table. And when you say fetch, and this is what retrieving dogs do. When I tell Deacon fetch, he's gonna, whatever it is in front of him, he's gonna grab it, and he is not supposed to let go until me or someone else says out. That's it. That's it. And you take it out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Right. Not supposed to drop it on the ground. Not supposed to. But when you say fetch, you better watch out because he's
Getting it.
Right. He's getting it. But the biggest thing is here. If he's picking it up, and you don't want to get into the trouble of force fetching him and whatnot.
And see it, and I'm having such a hard time with like out or drop. My saying is drop.
Yeah.
Just drop it, and he will not. It's like, well, and where I think we screwed up is when he was a puppy, and Casey was a lot better than I was about like not being rough with him, but I was very like playful with him as a puppy, and so now he like thinks that like
So now you're having
So
to
now I'm
you're
being very
untraining
assertive,
that,
and I'm being very like no, and all up in his business, and he doesn't care. He just thinks it's playtime. Like every time I tell him no, some reason he associates that with play. And when I try to grab something out of his mouth, it's like tug of war.
Yeah.
And I bought him before I even started shed hunting or doing any type of hunting with him, I bought him a rope, and we play with the rope all the time. So now he like thinks that, oh, this is tug of war. If you're trying to take something out of my mouth, like, all right, it's on.
Yeah.
You ain't taking this out of my mouth.
It's amazing the stuff that you can do with a pet compared to a hunting dog or stuff like that you can't do with a pet. You can do with a pet, but you can't do with a hunting dog. Tug of war, especially if you're wanting whatever is in that dog's mouth.
Well, I don't know. You can teach.
I know. I don't disagree. You just like
it's
you gotta definitely make sure that like it's super separate if you're gonna do it.
Yeah. I played tug with Deacon a lot. Still do. Still did when he was a puppy, and it teaches them like hold on to it.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think back on how I like really taught him like how
The basics.
No, not the basics. I mean, the things you really need to worry about are teaching them it here, teaching them teaching them like hear and heel and sit. You teach that, and you're good to go for the most part. But I mean, those are some of the hardest things to teach.
Yeah.
Well, that dog that I got in the woods, he wouldn't come to us, and it took us all night to get him to come to us. The guy I was with, his granddaughter was with us, and I just kind of looked over my shoulder because she was behind me, and I said, "Hey, look what's behind you." And she kind of turned around real slow, and he was standing right there. That dog was standing right there, and I just reached over and.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I just grabbed the nape of his neck.
And it just takes.
And then it took me, and I probably shouldn't have done it, but I did it. The next I took him home, and all week I worked with him on a 30-foot lead. I had my training collar, and I was tone training him as I was going. I was just teaching him to come to me, petting him up, and he's still super skittish. Like it's just the dog that it could be the person that had him before me. I don't know what it was, but he's just super skittish. And that's what I would do. I would tone train him, and if he didn't come, I mean, you got to do something. Especially even if you're tugging on him, because just tugging on them doesn't always work for some dogs.
Yeah, I think I'm becoming more and more of a believer that a dog needs to do something 1,000 times before it's learned it.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Because, and that's just something that I've been told from other trainers that like, and even like as a person, like if we do something 1,000 times, we're gonna be better at that than And so I think it's the same principle as teaching your dog here and teaching him.
Yeah.
Like just get a 30-foot rope, tie it around the collar.
Yep. Here.
Oh, good boy. He'll learn.
It's a good thing.
They'll learn that you want them to learn, and the goal of it is so that he knows if he is around you and listening to you, nothing bad is going to happen to him.
Right.
He's not going to get in trouble.
Right.
He's not going to get hurt. And that's the way I look at it. And I let my dog run around like a madman. But when I say here, it's okay. Maybe I'm not doing something I should be.
Yeah.
And maybe that's not what it is. Maybe it's just that he wants to come and I taught him that, but that's how I look at it. It's like, it's if you teach your dog how to hear and sit and know, then
I mean, from everything that I've researched, like heel and just kind of keeping an eye, with the shed hunting situation, like coon hunters, you're a little different because you just let your
kick
dog
that
shed.
dog out and it better go.
You're right. So, but like the shed hunting, they kind of, they're all about kind of like, all right, well, you need to at least kind of be in the vicinity. Like, all right, you need to kind of stop. All right, where am I at?
Right.
Where is my person?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where I need to go.
Gotcha.
All right, we're still good. We're all connected. We need to
You're-
keep moving.
You're more walking through the woods, and it's more of a. It's not just. Hey,
It's
you
almost
go
like
do
a-
what you're supposed. You go do a job, and then come back to me when you're done doing your job.
Yeah. You
Small
want
game hunter type of, you just kind of
Moseying through.
you're
yeah.
staying about 100, 200 yards away, but not out of sight. I mean, you are at some points, but and that's really like the main thing that I want is just like a dog I can just take out and be like, all right. But I want to
Don't have to worry about it.
But just the shed hunting is like the thing that I'm kind of getting out.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Man,
we're gonna turn you into a shed hunter.
and it's amazing.
Who, me or him?
You and I are gonna turn him into a shed hunter.
And it's amazing what, like, man, I just feel like he's got it. Like, I haven't really worked with him, but it's like, holy cow, you like, you're on it.
Yeah.
It's amazing when you give him a job.
And I don't know if it's like,
It's one of the best things you can do is to give your dog a job that's outdoors,
Mm-hmm.
because then both you and the dog, all you really want to do is go and get outdoors.
Yeah, for sure.
Like me, all I want to do is sit back, have drink. My dream is to be able to sit back, have a kennel in the backyard.
Right.
All right, which dog am I taking?
Yeah, I know, right?
right?
And just go sit out and drink a PBR and train dogs.
So like, I started training the dog in the house.
That's
I
great.
started taking the
So you-
antler.
That's what you want to do.
I started taking the antler, and I was just getting him to. I would just walk to the end of the living room, and I'd set it on the ground, and I'd make him stay, and that was like a struggle in itself. But I'd make him stay, or I'd have Casey hold him, and I'd go to the other, have him watch me do it. I'd go to the other end of the living room, set it down, and I'd come back, and I'd stand next to him, and I'd say, "All right, find it."
So
And he would go and get it, and then he'd bring it back. Sometimes. And so then I kept doing that, and I kept doing it, and I kept hiding it, and I kept getting a little bit more aggressive of how I was hiding it, like not completely visible, but letting him watch me. All right, actually, you're watching me go and set it down. And then I was taking him out in the garage, and I'd take him out in the garage, I'd shut the door, I'd come back inside, I'd hide it. I started with the scent. I'd make him come back into the house, sit in front of me. I'd give him the scent, and I'd tell him to find it. And that was like, that was a big struggle for the first 5 or 6 times from getting him to, because all he was visual at the beginning. He was like, oh, I'm looking for something. I'm looking for something. And now he's to the point, he's more smelling. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've hit it from him, and he's been like right on top of it, and I'm like, get it. Just freaking get it. And he just like sniffing around, and then it's like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's just using that nose.
It's just like training coon dogs. Like a lot of people use live coons, like and caged coons, and it's not a bad way to train. Some dogs need that, some dogs don't, and it's just sometimes it teaches them to hunt by sight, and sometimes it doesn't. It depends on how much you use it and how much you don't use it, and it's amazing. But they're learning the scent.
I'm gonna go grab those 2 antlers to just kind of show you the difference of what I'm really.
We're gonna turn him into a shed dog.
Oh, I don't think it's not gonna take much work. Honestly, it really.
We might teach Deacon to have shed hunting.
There you go.
Give us something to do now that duck season's over.
No joke, man. That's gonna be.
No,
It's a project in itself. Getting ready for next duck season.
we already got too much going on.
Dexter, see, he is all about
Amped
this.
up about
Sit. Good boy. So I don't let him shoot these
I would.
at all. So, I mean, these are the 2 things I'm working with. This is the one I bought from Cabela's. Hey, get down. Down, I know. Down, sit. Good boy. So, and this is the one that I've been working with the most. And obviously a huge size difference. Because when I hide this one in the yard, I mean, he's really just like, by the time he sees it, it's like, hey. When he sees that, it's like,
oh, there it is.
yeah. Now this one kind of hides in the grass a little bit, so really this is more like
More realistic.
Yeah.
When you're going and when you're gonna go.
I mean, I would be happy if he found that. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be more happy that he found this than that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right,
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I wish I could shoot a deer.
right, half that.
Let's
go back inside.
But with just this antler, that's still a 7 boy.
Yeah, it just had half.
Oh,
I
man.
shot at one this year that was smaller than this, and this is all it had on one side of it.
So, I mean, I've been amazed that he's found that on many occasions.
This one?
Oh yeah, I mean, today I took him. He watched me hide it. I put it behind a wheelbarrow in the backyard, and I'm on a half-acre little lot right here. And I brought him into the garage, and I just told him to find it. And it took him about 10 minutes. And I did have to kind of walk over to the vicinity because he was getting real sidetracked.
Well, that's fine.
And I walked over to the vicinity, and when I got in that area, he kind of stayed around me, and he found it like within a minute of me just. I was standing
How do you
50 yards from it, and he found it in the harbor.
tie it to a rope and drag it through the yard to where you want
Yeah,
it?
that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Right, and that's what I kind of started doing. I was taking this dog bone antler scent, which literally just smells like urine.
I'm not gonna. I don't.
It's not like strong.
No.
It's just.
But I started taking that in the
Yeah.
yard, and I'd hide them inside, and I would, right when I walked out the door, I'd just start putting drops all the way to where I set it at.
Yeah, so if you read this, it's made with real pulverized antler.
Right.
So if you had another antler you don't care about or anything,
Grind it up.
grind it down, get the shavings.
Yeah.
And you can really use that for the scent and, I don't know, drag that through the yard.
It was, today, I put it in my sweatshirt pocket and just had it in my sweatshirt pocket because he was tied out on a lead and I didn't want him to see where I was hiding. But he followed every single path that I went to. He would go over to the wheelbarrow, but he wouldn't go behind the wheelbarrow.
He was just
But
following.
he was on it.
He was probably just following your sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to put them in the kennel or inside, drag this through the yard, and then
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad
with
idea.
this
Package
stuff,
strain.
with this stuff on it.
Yeah, I coat this with it and then drag it through the yard.
Yeah.
And that's going to teach him follow
Yeah.
that scent. And
But
Which
I
is
just-
it's no different than in tracking a deer trail, because that's where it's going to be, is where a deer went, and that's really what he's looking for.
Yeah.
You just don't want him.
You were saying that he was doing that out there in the woods.
Yeah, I took him out in the woods, and I put him on a about 5-foot leash because I'm still not comfortable with him just
Taking off.
taking off because I haven't established like the stay around me and just.
You gotta get that. You gotta get a shot collar.
Yeah, you do.
Get a sport dog. Get a
And they're not expensive, man.
But,
You can
man,
get a
he
pretty
was
good one.
DT systems, something. They've got good collars out there that aren't too expensive.
Yeah.
And I was impressed because like I know this woods like the back of my hand, and I know where the deer move, and I know the trails and all that. And I was like, he would go, and he was like going down a trail, and I was like, why are you going down that trail?
Yeah.
And then I was like looking on the ground where he was going, and I was like, oh, that's fresh. That's why he freaking went that way. Like the highways, apparently they're not taking the highways like I thought they were. So, because we circled back around and we came back to where I thought that he should go.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's
Nothing
no
there.
fresh signs.
Yeah,
Like
there's
the
nothing there.
signs that he was on was today.
Oh,
last
really?
night. Like, I'm pretty sure they're all nocturnal because he kicked up he found a ton of freaking coyote crap all
Really?
over the place. And just piles of freaking fur and piles of feathers and stuff.
Oh,
The
wow.
coyotes are freaking,
Can we hunt the
Turn.
coyotes out here?
yeah,
Yeah.
we need to.
We can.
I know there's a pack of 8 of them that are running around.
Oh man.
8, Richie's killed 3 of them.
I'm all about.
And he still has his blind out there, so I'm sure he's
Still.
hammered down on them. But
I'm all about
we need to get them going.
hunting coyotes.
Yeah.
We need to get them going.
Do people turkey hunt out here?
No.
I'm going down the rabbit hole. I'm sorry.
That'll be another one, especially before don't we have a spring season here? I don't even know.
Yeah, we got
Typically starts around. You guys pretty much the month of March. At least that's what it is in Alabama.
So we'll see. That'll be another one, because that's kind of. I'm planning on doing a little turkey.
That's why I told you I had to start breaking that call out.
I know. That's my plan, man. I'm planning on doing some turkey hunting this year.
Oh yeah.
I haven't gotten the itch yet.
You haven't had the itch for 2 years. What are you talking about? The only itch you had is in your pants this past 2 years.
Well, since I started fishing, that was really like, I don't know, I'm all about fishing right now. I'm trying to learn that and really figure that all out. And
It's tough.
it is. It's fun.
Well, we've got about 300 days.
I know. It
To-
sucks, doesn't it?
About 300 days to get him into get the itch in for
I
that.
know. I know.
And so
We'll get him out. We'll get him out early teal season because it'll be warm and he won't be.
September.
Yeah, he won't be all. Oh man, it's cold and we ain't seeing nothing.
Listen,
We'll get him
if
out.
I-
I ain't never deer season.
Yeah, bro.
if I can deal with it during duck season.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
We need to get my dad out there.
Duck season,
Yeah.
dude, that'd be calm. We're
Because
gonna
I guarantee
film that.
you know he's freaking retired now, so he's ready to do whatever.
Oh yeah, he is the busiest retired person I've ever seen in my life, and he doesn't do nothing.
Back dog. Back dog.
I know.
All right. So he won't bring it to you. You gotta teach him to hear.
Yeah.
That'd be the biggest thing. You might even just go get you a 30-foot lead. That's what I have. I just have a 30-foot lead. You'll get a 30-foot lead.
That go just
Not
use
even.
freaking tire
Start
right
with a.
Yeah, you could.
Buy a Wonder lead off Amazon for $20. It's a rope lead. It's like cattle rope.
Yeah.
So it's
like that orange one.
Yeah.
So it snaps back into place, and put it on him here, and it's going to put pressure on his neck. And when he gets to where he's supposed to be, the pressure's going to stop.
I'd probably tighten the collar up when you do it.
And no, you don't even use the collar. You just put this rope around.
Oh, and then put it around there
And
like
it's
a
like a
choker.
slip lead almost, but it's rope and it has a rubber stopper on it.
Yeah.
And it's loose. When he is away and you pull him here, it's gonna choke him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's gonna learn like, oh.
Okay.
Now I need to come back.
Eventually he's gonna learn. He might fight it. He might not like it, but he's gonna learn the only way this thing is releasing is when he gets to you.
Yeah.
And when he gets to where he's supposed to be.
Yeah,
and then you're like, oh, good boy, and you pet him up.
he's like, oh.
Yeah, and I've been doing treats with him, and he doesn't like normal treats. So I've been
He's
like,
bougie.
yeah, he is. He we go to PetSmart or they give him them freaking nip bones, and he just put them in his mouth and just spit them back out on the floor.
You don't like a milk bone?
No, he's like, this is trash. He never has. Since
He
was
has
a
that.
puppy.
He has that 2019 truck bougie taste.
Man, he's gotta get that.
So I've been
He's gotta-
I've been taking I took up a bunch of chicken breast and I just boiled chicken breast and cut them up into little chunks, and he's been 10 times more adamant about, all right, if I come, I get that.
I get that.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta move away from that and start teaching.
Well,
them
and I'm going to. I just like to get him to
$30 later.
Right. Well, mainly it's like, oh crap, we didn't cook a freaking chicken. All right, I'll just boil it for the dog.
Oh man.
And I was wanting to get a deer this year so I could chop up, a bunch of the stuff that we just pitched.
Yeah.
And just freaking
Let
All
them
right,
eat
hey,
it.
that's a dog bowl. We're gonna freaking just chop that
That's
up.
not a bad idea. I didn't even think of that.
I mean, it, really, there's.
We only cut up, 6 this year.
Yeah.
We
I'm
got a bunch
all
of
about.
meat.
I'm all about processing my own game.
Oh, for sure.
I'm
y'all
not
are
taking
gonna
it
have
to
a
a
bunch of meat?
processor.
We cut up six deer this year.
So I can have some of that?
I didn't get
We
any,
didn't
so
say
you
that.
have nothing for me.
Mine was about the
I
size.
striked out.
Mine was about 2 times the size of Deacon, so it was a large German Shepherd, is what mine was.
Oh boy.
But I got it.
But you got it.
I poked it
With a recurve.
with a recurve. Yeah, that was the fun. That was probably the funnest thing I've ever done. And then I started duck hunting, and I said, "Why do I deer hunt?
That's right.
We're sitting at about an hour.
We're converting one.
Are we really?
We're over an hour.
That's it. We're done. Cut it off."
A good sign out.
I know. Well, keep the nose to the ground. Train the hounds. See ya.